Shalom, shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwedash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into a quick lesson in response to this false doctrine that's being pushed out there by these two individuals that were excommunicated from the body some time ago. And now they're on a mission to somehow, some way prove that we're in the second covenant, which could be the furthest thing from the truth, right? And the phone chimed in. And, like the beloved Elder Yashawamba said in his lesson last night, there's many ways, there's many angles, this can be addressed, proven that there's no way, no how, it's not possible that we're in the second covenant. And this is silly as well. This is crazy. Because, we could grab Jeremiah 31, right? Or Hebrews, the 8th chapter, and we can completely prove that they're going completely off and they're completely wrong as far as us being in the second covenant. We're under grace, okay? We're under grace. And the only reason why we're under grace is because of Yahweh Shai, because of his blood, man. Okay, we're in a time where we need to be seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai 10 times more, right? Offending less, rehearsing the righteous acts, all right? And getting ourselves purified, okay? So when Yahweh Shai cracks these clouds, okay, we're not ashamed, man. And we're confident upon his arrival, man. Lord willing, we're preserved until that point. Okay, it's totally impossible for us to be in the second covenant, man. All right? Because we're still in captivity. We're still under the yoke. The curses are still cleaving unto us, man. So this is real silly. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, now I was moved through the spirit to speak on it, man, because it's a false doctrine. And for the sake of the sheep, it must be combated with the truth. You see, so through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the first scripture I wanted to get into is I wanted to go to Romans 11, right? All right, going into when the Apostle Paul was going into how, the branches that are broken off, let me see here, can be grafted back in. But there's a point I wanted to get in this chapter, okay? Giving credence. Let me just go get it. Right, the book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 25, and it reads, For I would not, and my point is a bit further down, For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, right? And these things are mysteries. Okay, the whole Bible is written in dark sayings, allegories, right? Dark sayings, hard sayings. You see? The spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Rakah Kwedash, must be upon you in order for you to be able to understand these scriptures. Okay? Starting with the men of the Lord. See? And then the men of the Lord, being the mouthpiece of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, expound on the scriptures. You see, these things are mysteries to the world. But through the Holy Spirit, they've been opened up to those of the elect. Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. Let's continue on. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, right? And conceit goes into pride, man. Okay? Which a lot of individuals that are bugging out are displaying. They're displaying a high level of pride. Okay? And we know what the scriptures say about pride, man. Okay? Pride cometh before destruction, man. And a haughty spirit before a fall. Let's continue on. that blindness in part is happened to Israel, right? That's part of the curses. That we will discontinue from our heritage. We'll be through out here, right? Following all different manners of philosophies and wine, okay? Until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And those Gentiles are who? Israelite foreigners, man. Okay? Those of us that were in a, what? Gentile state of mind. Okay? We were once Gentiles, man. You see? We didn't know who we were until Yahweh Bashim Al Shai allowed us to draw into him. And he opened up our minds to this truth. We didn't know who we were, man. And did Yahweh come off his throne and tell us who we were? No, he used men. Okay? Specifically the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. Okay? Who you crazy niggas wanna come up against in these latter days. You see, you've been taught everything you know by the elders and apostles, okay, of Great Millstone on down. And here it is. You want to buck up against authority. You want to buck up against the order that was sanctioned by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But it just goes to show that demons have crept inside you, man. A lot of you so-called men of the Lord, all right, that want to, do your own thing, right? You want to buck up against authority. You want to start teaching these wayward doctrines. And you numbered yourself to the sword of the Lord, man. You numbered yourself to the sword of the Lord. But let's stick to the point, right? And so all Israel shall be saved. See, all Israel shall be saved. Okay, we're coming into my point I'm going to make, right? As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer. Who's the deliverer? Yahweh Shai. And is all Israel saved at this point in time? I think not, right? And shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. Is all of Jake, all the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans righteous at this point in time? I think not. I think not, right? For this is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins. We are still under the curses. Okay, we are still through out here. See, Yahweh Shai has not come yet and delivered the elect. Okay, the wicked have not yet been destroyed. As a matter of fact, they're doing all manners of wickedness while you crazy niggas are talking about and preaching about and trying to teach about us being in the second covenant, scattering the sheep, pursuing the Jeremiah 23, which you're gonna have to pay for with deadly consequences. You see, hey, this thing is nothing light. What kind of doctrine are you trying to teach? There is no way we are in the second covenant. Okay? It's not possible. We will be immortal. There's just so many things that haven't happened yet, proving that we're not in the second covenant. And like I said, this is silly, man. This is ridiculous. Because it's plain upon tables, man. But not everybody's meant or built to understand. Let's go to 2nd Esdras real quick. Let's go to Salakia. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 2. Right? And what did the angel Uriel say to Esdras, right? Matter of fact, this is what Esdras said. Let me see. When he received the charge from the Lord, right? The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 2 and verse 34, and it reads, and therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand. And this is not talking about the other nations when it's referring to heathen. Okay, vocab Malone? No. This is talking about Israelites. You see? that are out of their mind, okay? In the Gentile state of mind. You see, because the heathen are not part of this thing. And we can prove it, actually, if we jump up a chapter. Let's jump up a chapter real quick. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 2 and verse 36, and it reads, Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. See? All right, giving credence that in 2nd Esdras, the 2nd chapter, right, in the 34th verse, is referring to the Israelites. It's referring to Israelites, okay, that have been separated from their power, right? And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, see, look for your shepherd. Who's that? Yahweh Shai. He shall give you everlasting rest, okay? For he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world. You see? And part of the second covenant is that what? We would have rest. You see? We will be in a condition where rest is allowed. And that's even mentioned, hey, still in 2nd Esdras, right? We're going to be in 2nd Esdras for a second. Let's jump to chapter 8. Right? And let's jump down. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 8. Let me see, in outside of verse 52, and it reads, For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded. Right, what's the city? The kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on earth, okay? And rest is allowed. Are we resting? If we were in the second covenant, we will be at rest right now. Our feet kicked up, sipping on wine and laying down judgment upon the heathen. That's not happening. All right? Some of us got to go to work tomorrow. I don't. You know what I mean? We're hitting the highways and byways tomorrow, but I'm saying, hey, there's some brothers that got to go to work tomorrow, man. There's brothers that are going to work right now. We're in captivity, man. We're not resting. You see? Perfect goodness and wisdom, all right? The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness in the moth is hid from you. Hey, these bodies, we're still in these feeble bodies, these chains of darkness, okay? And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. All right, we are not in this state at this time. Sorrows are past. We're living in sorrow. You see? We're chaffed in the mind, man. We're oppressed. We got the yoke on us still, man. Right? And in the end, it showed the treasure of immortality, which is what? Part of the second covenant. You see? What the hell is wrong with you people, man? You men that have gone off the wayside, man. Back in 2nd Esdras chapter 2, I want to get verse 35 as well, right? And it reads, Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, okay? For the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. We're going to be in this condition under the second covenant, man. We're fighting and striving and and pulling and pushing to make it to this point, to be part of that first resurrection, to take part of that second covenant, man. What in the hell are you Negroes, you wacky-tacky, out of your mind? You so-called teachers, leaders, prophets of Israel have lost your mind, those of you that have been casted away, man. There are spirits on you, man. Let's get some more scriptures. Let's get this right here proven that we are not in the second covenant. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 3. I'm going to start up. Let's start at verse 14. Sing, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away thy judgments. Okay? He hath cast out thine enemy. This has not happened yet. The judgments of the Lord are still pressed against us, man. Hey, Jacob's trouble still got to happen. Do y'all believe that? Or do y'all think Jacob's trouble is gay like IUIC? You see? He hath cast out thine enemy, the King of Israel, even the Lord is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil anymore. This is part of the second covenant. Okay? In that day, that's prophecy. It shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion let not thy hands be slack. The Lord thy power in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, okay, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time, okay, I will undo all that afflict thee. We're still afflicted. Because we're not in the second covenant. And I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. We're still being put to shame to this very day, at this very second. Okay? We're still getting followed by police, followed behind in grocery stores and corner stores and supermarkets and wherever you go, man. You're looked at as a thief, a criminal, a rapist, a robber, a terrorist. Hey, Jake, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, we're at the bottom of society, man. Hey, we don't have fame, okay, and praise in every land where we've been put to shame, man. Hey, that's going to be part of the second covenant. At that time, will I bring you again? At that time. Prophecy, man. I will bring you again, even in the time that I will gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all the people of the earth, when I turn your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. This has not happened yet. Because when our captivity gets turned, all these curses are going to go where? On the heathen. Are the heathen cursed? No, they're not. Let's get this real quick. Let's just go get that. In Deuteronomy 30. Sheesh, let me just start from the top. Got to. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 1, my point's in 7, and it reads, and it shall come to pass, prophecy, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing, okay, and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy power have driven thee. And we are calling this to mind, this present moment. All right, this is why you see our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai, waking up to who we are. You see? This is who our power is being called to mind. We're remembering who our power is. We're remembering who we are through the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And shall return unto the Lord thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul. And we're doing that to the best of our ability. We are doing that to the best of our ability, man. You see, in pursuing the Judges, the 5th chapter, Those that rehearse the righteous act should be delivered from the noise of the arches, man, which goes into that destruction. From the land of drawing water, man, right here in Mystery Babylon the Great, where we're being oppressed. All right? Where we're serving out bondage, man. Captivity. See? We're rehearsing the righteous acts, man. We're under grace. This is when we're supposed to be getting right. Let's continue on. That then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity. See? Our captivity has not been turned yet. It's about to be, though. You see, and that's when the second covenant is going to be fully activated, man. We're going to be in the second covenant at that point, right? And have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy power hath scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. Right, this is going into the deliverance, man. Matthew 24. Okay? This is going into the great deliverance, man. You see? And the Lord thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. Why are we still scattered? We're not in the land where our fathers possessed, man. We're not in Jerusalem. See? That's going to be established under the second covenant. Again, we could have grabbed Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8 and called it a show. But no. We'll just go through the scriptures, through the spirit, to make the point. Because there's prophecies all throughout the scriptures. And their phone chimed in, proving that we're not in the second covenant, man. But if you ain't got spiritual lenses, if you ain't got ears to hear and eyes to see, you won't be able to see it. You will let one precept throw you over the cliff, right? Because you lack the spirit. Hey, pray for the wisdom, pray for the knowledge, pray for the understanding, pray for the vision. You see? Pray for the vision. And ultimately, those of you that are coming up against the elders need to repent. You see? Because you've greatly offended, man. Let's continue on. And the Lord, here we go, another heavy point right here, right? And the Lord, right, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 6. And the Lord thy power will circumcise thine heart, okay? And the heart of thy seed. To what? To love the Lord thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. See? We are going to have the law, statutes, and commandments within us. Our minds are going to be circumcised. See? With the law, statutes, and commandments, man. See? Circumcision is what? Part of the law. On the 8th day, you get circumcised as a male. As an Israelite man. You see? This word is going to be in us, man. We're not going to be able to go off if we wanted to. We're going to be all righteous. See? And pursuing the wisdom of Solomon in the first chapter, righteousness is immortality. See? With this pure word in us, all right, we are going to be all righteous, immortal. That's part of the second covenant, man. And here's the banger, right? The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 7, and it reads, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, man, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. This is going to happen under the second covenant. Okay? The second covenant. When the Lord is going to establish Israel above all the mountains, like it says in Micah, the 4th chapter. Let's close out there through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Now all these curses are going to be on these heathen, man. They're going to go through 1,000 years of captivity, okay? After the 1,000 years of them building up the kingdom, cleaning up the earth, Esau's out of there, pursuing the Obadiah 1 and 18, okay? And you heathen nations are going to be tributary to the nation of Israel forever. But you're going to love it, see? Because under the watch of righteousness, right? The earth is going to be a paradise, man. The earth is going to be a paradise. That's why Romans 8 says what it says, man. Right? The earnest expectation of the creature, I believe it says, hasteneth. You see? Hasteneth the, I might have to go get that. Let me just go get that now before we get this. So I don't, let's go get this real quick. And we'll jump right back to Micah 4. I just want to get this real quick. Right, the book of Romans, chapter 8, Salakia. In verse 19, it reads, for the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Why? Because the earth is going to become a paradise under the watch of Israel, with Yahweh Shai leading the charge, man. Okay, King David under him, the 12 disciples, and the 144,000 men, the first fruit. Okay, Lord willing, we're part of that number. As you can see, we're living in wickedness right now, man. Okay, we're not in the second covenant. That makes no sense. We're still destitute, man. Through, subject to payments. Micah 4. The book of Micah, chapter 4, and verse 1, and it reads, but in the last days it shall come to pass, prophecy, that the mountain of the house of the Lord, and mountains go into governments, right, shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above their hills, and hills represent smaller governments, and people shall flow unto it. Okay, are people flowing unto Israel right now? Unto Yasha Allah? No. No. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. This is not happening right now, man. This is why? Because we're not in the second covenant. We're under grace. I have to reiterate it. Right? And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. I can pull up an article right now going into the third woe, and how these nations are preparing for a thermonuclear fallout. Okay? Because we're not under the second covenant. All hell still got to break loose, man. What the hell are these men talking about, man? But I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I just want to, make some points on how it's impossible, physically. It's impossible that we're under the second covenant, man. We're under grace. There's so many promises that involve being under the second covenant. Again, Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8 could have that's it. We could have brought that out and called it. So yeah, I just want to bring that out, make a few points on it. But again, I'm not going to be the dead dog. This thing is plain. If you can't see it, hey, then this thing's not for you. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwath will edify. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halaliam La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Shalom.